I am 62 years old and I live alone. I've been for 11 years now. And no, it isn't what people picture when I say it. Not sadness, not that heavy, awkward silence, not sitting around waiting for somebody to fill a hole. It's something else, something it took me a long time to understand. Now, every morning at 7:15, I stand in this kitchen, make my black coffee, same chipped mug, the one nobody else likes, and I know it clear as daylight. People mix up being alone with feeling alone, and those are two different worlds, completely different, even if folks don't believe it. I spent 30 years surrounded. Husband, children, a house that never stopped making noise, door slamming, radio playing, someone always hungry, always needing. And there were nights, many nights, when I felt utterly alone, right there at the full table, refrigerator packed, plates set out, and me empty. Now I live alone, and most days I don't feel that way. Not because I found some grand secret. No, nothing mystical. And I'm not especially strong, never was. I just learned, slowly, that physical solitude can be an act of kindness toward yourself. That silence can sit beside you, like company. That a small life, chosen carefully, can feel enormous inside. I learned it the hard way, with mistakes, with bad afternoons, with calls to my sister Martha at 11 at night, whispering, asking if it was normal to feel such a hollow space. I learned eventually. So if you're thinking about living alone, or you already are, and sometimes it scares you, or you wonder if you're doing something wrong because it doesn't look like the movies, well, here are 5 things I wish someone had told me, back when my hair wasn't this thin and my hands didn't shake holding a cup. 5 things that now, with my breakfast table set for one, newspaper folded beside the plate, I know are true. 1. Routine is not boredom, it is freedom. I used to believe living alone meant total spontaneity, waking whenever, eating whatever, no schedule, no structure, just drifting. The first months I tried that, got up whenever I felt like it, ate toast at midnight, soup at 10 in the morning, left the television on until 2, and I felt untethered, like I was floating, with nothing to grab onto, nothing solid. One afternoon, my neighbor Carol saw me buying bread at 4:30, looked at me, said, "You don't have much of a schedule, do you?" She said it softly, almost pitying. It irritated me, but she was right. So I began, slowly, breakfast at 7:15, always, not because I have somewhere to be, but because I like knowing that at that hour, with the light coming through the kitchen window, I am there, in my chair, breathing, even if it's heavy breathing. Walk at 9, 40 minutes around the park, rain or not. Lunch at 2, sitting down, never standing at the refrigerator door like I used to. And Sunday afternoons, without fail, I call my son Michael. Not because I'm lonely, but because that's our time. Structure didn't trap me. It gave me a place to return to. And when you live alone, that's the closest thing to a hug you can give yourself. 2. The relationships you choose hold stronger than the ones assigned. When my marriage ended, I thought I'd lose people, and I did. Friends who belonged to both of us, neighbors who stopped waving, even my sister-in-law who had once known all my secrets. It hurt, more than I like to admit, but it forced me to choose, to decide who I wanted near me, not out of habit, not out of obligation, but because I truly wanted them there. Now I have 3 friends, 3, not 20 acquaintances to fill a calendar. Janet, who comes over every Thursday, brings her thermos of tea. We sit on the couch and talk about terrible TV shows, like they matter. Diane, who sends long voice messages, never apologizes for how long they are, and I listen to every minute. And Claire, who lives 2 states away, but every couple. Months she visits, sleeps in my guest room, and we talk like we're 20 again, though we're not even close. That's enough, more than enough, because it isn't quantity, it's depth, knowing that if I need to cry, I can call, and if I don't need anything, I don't have to call, and no one keeps score. Chosen bonds don't weigh you down, they steady you, and when you live alone, you need steady, not crowded. If you've made it this far and you're still listening to this old woman ramble, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, turning on that little notification bell so you don't miss the next one, if there is a next one. God bless you, truly, for staying. 3. Your home has to please you, not visitors. For years, I arranged my house for company. Comfortable sofa, matching cushions, special dishes for guests, and most of the time nobody came. Or they came and I still didn't feel at home, because it wasn't mine, it was staged. Now my living room has an enormous armchair, bought at a yard sale. Doesn't match a single thing. It's plain, maybe even ugly, but it belongs to me. I sit there every afternoon with a book, blanket over my knees, even in summer. That's my spot. Not a place to entertain, not for showing off, just mine. I have a small table, just for one. At first, I felt embarrassed by it, like it announced some failure. But now I look at it and think how good it is not to share this space unless I truly want to. When you live alone, your house isn't a stage, it's a refuge. It should fall. You have to learn to keep yourself company. No one told me this, and it may be the most important part. You can have friends, routines, a comfortable chair, but if your own voice bothers you, if silence frightens you, you aren't living alone, you're running. In the beginning, I kept the television on all the time, didn't even watch it, just noise, so I wouldn't hear the quiet. Then one evening, the power went out, whole house dark. I sat on the couch, couldn't see a thing, just breathing, and I thought, well, here I am. Nothing dramatic happened. I didn't fall apart, didn't sob. I just sat, and that was that. After that, I practiced. Dinner without music, walks without earbuds, sitting on the porch without my phone in my hand, just me. And I realized my own company wasn't so terrible. I could think without interruption, feel things without explaining them. Being with myself wasn't punishment, it was a gift, though it took me years to call it that. Now when someone asks, "Don't you get bored living alone?" I smile, slow, because truth is, I've rarely been less bored. 5. Choosing solitude is not selfishness. This one took the longest. For years I was told, A woman living alone is incomplete, missing something, waiting. I believed it until I stopped waiting, until I understood I wasn't alone because I had no other option. I was alone because I chose it, because after decades of giving, caring, being available, I deserved a home of my own, a life of my own. It isn't selfish, it's fair. When my daughter Emily asks, "Mom, don't you ever think about finding someone again?" I tell her, maybe, if someone comes along who adds to my life, but I don't need anyone to finish it. And I say it without bitterness, without anger, just steady, because being alone isn't a temporary stop until something better shows up. It's a valid way to live, a dignified one, even beautiful in its quiet way. If it changes someday, fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm living. It's 6 in the evening now. I make myself tea, sit in my mismatched chair, look out the window at nothing special, just the street. And I think about how long it took me to arrive here. This peace isn't perfect. There are hard days, days when loneliness brushes up against me. But there are fewer, and when they come, I know what to do. Call Janet, take a walk, sit still, let it pass. Because living alone is not the same as being alone. It's learning to become your own home. And after everything, that may be the closest I've come to freedom. Tomorrow at 7:15, I'll have my breakfast, same as always, and I'll be all right.